right to the back of the pack and finds Dictate of Erebos. He also has pulled Dakra Mystic to the front here. Is Dictate first pickable, Zach?
I think it is. I know there's a lot of controversy around this. I mean, it's a card you have to set up to use properly, but it means that every trade is a 2-for-1. Every chump block is a 1-for-1. Every removal spell from your opponent is a 2-for-1 of themselves. I think Dictate is really, really, really powerful. I think Quarry Colossus is good. You've got Feast of Dreams.
Yeah, well, what do you like?
Do
you like Feast of Dreams better than it?
I don't. I think, I mean, you can think of Feast of Dreams a lot like a Disenchant. It kills a enchantment creature, and it kills something that's basically bestowed, which is sort of like getting aura. I mean, if they have a natural aura, it's really good. But most of the time, your creature auras are bestow creatures.
All right, he took Dictate of Erebos there, so looks like he's willing to go for it. He finds a couple of nice cards here with Pharika's Chosen if he wants to keep things simple. If he wants to get a little out of line here, he can go for the Disciple of Deceit, but he's also got some nice alternate options with Forgeborn Oreads here.
Yeah, looking at Counterman, you can't think that's what he's actually going to pick. Forgeborn Oread's probably the strongest raw card in the pack. Pharika's Chosen, very, very good, keeps him on black. Quarry Colossus also good, but getting past Forgeborn Oreads suggests to me that you are going to be able to set up a pretty powerful red deck.
Yeah, now we know that Huey waffled between Forgeborn Oreads and Eidolon of Blossoms, ended up taking the Blossoms. So we'll see. This is interesting. Let's just assume that we know that, and the person on our right is in green. Let's see how Saito maneuvers around green. He's pulled the Blade Tusk board to the front here. Seems like a pretty solid pickup after taking a red card previous.
Yeah, I mean, I like Spiteful Blow a lot with the black card. I mean, Blade Tusk Boar, really, really good. The Sigiled Starfish going to go to someone fourth, which is a loud signal. Riptide Chimera also, but Boar, probably your second best red common. Great pickup after getting a Forgeborn Oreads.
Is there more red for him?
Well, Crow and Mastiff coming quite late. Cast into Darkness, very good card. Late Supply Line Cranes.
Man, no kidding. This is an interesting choice for him. I really like Cast into Darkness here. But if he starts to feel that he wants to veer away from black, Supply Line Cranes is tempting. I mean, wide feels very open.
Yeah, Crow and Mastiff also in the pack. Those are probably the two best commons in the set.
They're like 2 of the 4 at least, right? Johnny's Presence is up there as well.
Yep.
But, man, maybe it's time to move over.
Yeah, and I think he's saying, okay, whatever to Dictate. Oh, man, but a Blood Craze Hoplite very late, opting you right back into black. Sigiled Skink, pretty big downgrade. You got a Swiftclaw, so you got a 2-drop in whatever color you want. The question is, what color do you think you're most committed to?
Saito decides that red is the color he's most committed to, and I agree that makes perfect sense.
Yep.
So he's going to take Sigiled Skink, stay hard in red, might be in white, might be in black.
Gonna see what the packs give him.
How about another Crow and Mastiff?
Late Swiftclaw. See also a Satyr Hoplite, Flurry of Horns. Good cards, but not nearly as good, I think, as Mastiff or Swiftclaw.
Yeah, he's in an interesting spot because he needs to kind of make a decision. Like Flurry of Horns is perfectly good and would make the cut for him, but I think he wants to move in on white. And in order to do that, he's got to start taking the white cards so that he doesn't keep shipping great white cards down the line.
Exactly. Oh, man.
Swiftclaw.
Yeah.
There's a Lagana Band Trailblazer in this pack as well.
I mean, to me, this is just a loud, loud signal for red-white.
I get that same feeling.
It's not as though he's picking up the only good cards. There's a Deicide in the pack, quite excellent. Lagana Band Trailblazer, quite solid. I think you take the Swiftclaw here. This is, I mean, this is exactly what you want to be happening if you're Saito. And that makes sense knowing that black-green is what Huey's playing to your left.
All right, there's an Oppressive Raise, a card I like quite a bit in a deck like this, but he's also got a Satyr Hoplite pulled to the front and a Lagana Band Trailblazer as well. Wow.
I love the Hoplite here. I am not as big of an Oppressive Raise fan. I'm a big get your heroics early and you can start taking, you know, worse enablers.
My Oppressive Raise love goes up sharply the more Oresco Swiftclaws you have.
That makes a lot of sense. That means you can put the game away in short order. A third of Crow and Mastiff.
Jeez. Who let the dogs out?
I was really hoping you weren't going to say that or reference a dog pack. I just can't make it through one of these events, Marshall.
So there's a Corey Colossus here at the back. There's also a Starfall.
Yeah, I think Starfall fits in with your aggression. Lightning Diadem, not inconceivable, but Quarry Colossus, just a straight 2-for-1.
That card's good.
It is good. You know,
I like
sometimes
that.
you're going to stall out on mana. When you do,
Wow.
why not take a Flame Tongue?
A late Lagana Band Trailblazer here as well. And it looks like Saito has settled fully into red-black. And look at that. Starfall third to last. There's a Pensive Minotaur in the pack as well, just to show another red card floating around. And not much for him here. He's going to take a Font of Vigor or a Bearer of the Heavens. But either way, he got playable cards deep into that pack. Only one more card to go here. And
Yeah,
he's already taken it here. It was a black card. So I want to remind you, we recorded this earlier. Right now, the players are building these decks. This part of the draft is not live. And that way, we get to bring in the quarterfinals shortly after this video.
That's exactly right. I'm looking, and I love that we're able to cover both these drafts and get players, you know, are sitting right next to each other and see how the one portion of the event influences the other. This is exactly the deck that I want if I'm Saito. The only thing I'm not liking is my 5 4-drops. Gonna make it really hard to take another 4-mana spell, but the card quality through the roof right now, and he's still got enough aggression that he doesn't really have a glut at the upper levels. He's got Sigiled Skink and a Swiftclaw, as well as Satyr Hoplite and Lagana Band Trailblazer to provide plenty of early plays.
Man, nice deck, though. He made a slight shift over into red-white and hasn't looked back since, and has really, I think, found a nice niche at the table. Let's see what he picks up out of the Born of the Gods pack. He has a Kregma Butcher pulled to the front immediately.
Ooh.
What is that at the back?
There's a
Eidolon of
Eidolon.
Countless Battles? Wow.
Gives him another 4, but the card is just so unbelievable that I don't think you can say no to it.
I know a lot of the pros who believe that this card is the most powerful card in the whole set. Now, we'll have to admit that Born of the Gods didn't exactly bring the big power hitter cards like maybe that you can find in Theros, for example, but still, Eidolon of Countless Battles is nuts.
Yeah, I mean, the card is insane. It's granting a minimum of +2/+2 for only 4 mana as a bestow creature. You can also just hard cast it if you need to. I mean, yeah, the card is exactly what you want to be seeing if you're in white going into Born of the Gods.
So a nice open there for Saito, and he's got Bolt of Keranos pulled immediately to the front.
You see Fanatic of Xenagos there, Spiteful Return, but I mean, you're solidly in white-red. Bolt of Keranos, probably the second best red common behind Fall of the Hammer. Does give you exactly what you need. Saito going through to see what's in the rest of the pack, but Bolt is the pick here.
He's definitely windmilling Bolt here.
Might be able to wheel that Satyr Reveler, be able to get another 2-drop. Satyr Reveler, 2-mana 2/1. Is that Reckless Reveler?
Reckless Reveler, yep.
Reckless Reveler. That is a Satyr, but is not called Satyr Reveler.
All right, so things looking great for Saito here.
Oh,
and
man.
right in the front, he's already found a playable with Oresco Sun Guide. Wow. And Oresco Sun Guide's slightly bigger brother there, Vanguard of Brimaz.
He's pulling Drown and Sorrow to the front to remember that it's there. I think that you take the Sun Guide because it's just going to be way easier to cast than the Vanguard.
Oh, really?
Vanguard, a more powerful card, but like you've got Bolt of Keranos and multiple red 1-drops. I think you need the flexibility of being able to cast it easier.
Interesting. I like that Vanguard is good early if you can cast it, but it's also good late.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good card. I just think, yeah, Sun Guide, they're close enough in power level that you don't want to bend over backwards for your mana.
For your mana, sure. Here's Farragax Giant. There's a Reckless Reveler.
See Weight of the Underworld also in the pack, but I mean, I think you want Reveler way more than Giant. I am never excited to have Giant in my deck. I'm not thrilled to have Reveler in my deck, but when I'm red-white, I just want like 6 2-drops.
He's going to take it. Perhaps get that one back from an earlier pick as well, or excuse me, an earlier pack.
So we've got a Revoke Existence if we want it. We've got Rise to the Challenge. You need some tricks in this deck, so I like that. Excoriate, just not a particularly powerful card. Sometimes a necessary piece of removal, but I like Rise to the Challenge here.
I do too.
Impetuous Sun Chaser, sometimes a card you play in this color combination, but not a card that you're just excited to take early.
Maybe you play it sometimes.
We saw it in our feature match area.
Did
earlier. Yeah. When Randy and I were watching that match featuring Martin Yuza playing very, very well around a Master Thief.
Oh, interesting. Acolyte's Reward here. That's a card. I'm a big fan of that card, but you do need critical mass of white permanents in your deck to make that card work. Once you do, it can be a savage blowout.
Yeah, I mean, once you get about 2 white mana symbols, I think you're rising the level of a really good card. Oh, wow, but a late Searing Blood.
I think
late
there's
Nyxborn
also
Shieldmate.
Yeah, Nyxborn Shieldmate too, but Searing Blood's the pick here.
Searing Blood is unbelievable.
It is. It's fantastic. And it's also making that Oresco Sun Guide pick look even better here, as you pretty rough to run double red and a double white in the same exact deck. So he's maneuvering successfully here.
See a Nyxborn Rollicker, Scouring Sands. I like Rollicker in this type of deck. It gives you a free heroic trigger. If you pick up some more deals, you can cast it on turn 1, although it's not exciting.
All right, Rollicker it is. Man, Saito's deck looks sweet.
Yeah, this Randy always likes to ask, what grade do you give these decks?
Yeah.
After these first 2 packs, I would give this deck an A. This looks like a good deck of Magic cards.
Yeah, it certainly does. And lest I remind you, got another pack to go here.
Saito almost doesn't even need it.
I know.
I mean,
he is definitely approaching 23 playables at this point already.
Got a Mortal's Ardor if he wants it. Gets a second Reckless Reveler. I think I go for the combat trick here, but he might be trying to just get a critical mass of 2 drops.
Yeah, he is. He's going to take the 2-drop there. I kind of like the combat trick a little better too, but either way, there's that Chromanticore. But he gets back Rise to the Challenge and Elite Skirmisher.
And he goes for Rise. I think I would take Skirmisher there, but he does need some tricks. So either way, just really got to be excited with that late. Able to hate draft a Satyr Wayfinder, which we know would come to Huey otherwise.
Yeah, and he might even be playing it. Huey does have some nice graveyard shenanigans lined up, so that's interesting. All right, take a look at his build here. Hyper aggressive. Remember, we're going to be watching the quarterfinals after this. This is pre-recorded. We're watching the video live along with you. We haven't seen any of these picks. Zach and I haven't, but they have been made. Players are building their decks that they drafted right now, and when we come back out of the video, they're going to be pretty close to ready to go down in the feature match area, so don't you go anywhere. I will allow you to go get a glass of water and or a sandwich, but beyond that, you must stay firmly glued to your computer or mobile device.
It is blowing my mind how deep Saito's deck here. I mean, he does have 23 playables easy. I mean, we saw almost no off-color cards.
No. He's only got a couple at the back there. There's Text Rider Nate Price. He actually came here to play the GP.
We always got to get our hands dirty, show people we still got it.
I played a grinder.
Oh, yeah?
On Friday, yeah.
Did Dream Crush?
Not just to play. I like to build sealed pools in real life too, and get a feel for what the players are doing before I go in the booth.
Totally. Oh man, big ordeal for Saito right here. Exactly what his deck wants.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, what a sweet pickup for him. With Lagana Band Trailblazers and the like running around.
And
you
Satyr
mentioned the
Hoplite.
Rollicker play, yep. Satyr Hoplite.
That's a
Hythonia the Cruel. I don't think he's going to be too worried about Hythonia. I think his plan is to have them dead way before that.
Hythonia the Cruel with some sideboard technology last weekend out Shaheen Sharani's block Esper control deck.
Is that right?
Yeah, I guess it's pretty good against a bunch of hexproof mid-range threats.
Yeah, everybody says there's no wrath in the format.
Yeah. Fated Retribution and Hythonia beg to differ.
That's right.
So he does pick up the ordeal. Wow, Lightning Strike continuing to provide gasoline for Saito.
Whoa, wow. And there's that Spear of Heliod and a Wingsteed Rider too. This pack is absolutely stacked up for Saito. You know when you draft at your local game store and there's always that person who's like, if I could just pick this pack, that's what he's thinking in Japanese in his head right now. The great news for him, though, is that he gets to take probably the spear here, and he's going to wheel something, right? I mean, there's 3, like, very nice cards there for him.
Yeah, I think he picks up the Crusader at minimum. It'd be great for him if he could get any of those first 3 cards. I just think they're too good for that to be realistic. But, I mean, you know, there can't be that many other red or white drafters at the table the way Saito's deck looks.
That's true. All right, what does he pick up here in this pick?
Chain to
Dauntless
the Rocks
Onslaught
if he
or a
wants it?
Chain to the Rocks? Okay, now
Gee,
here's a greed check for you. So I think the Dauntless Onslaught is the pick here, and I think you try to wheel the Chain to the Rocks. I mean, there's 1 2-color archetype that wants it.
Right.
It is premium removal, though. Like, if he feels like what he needs right now is removal and not tricks, I think he just has to commit to it.
I think you have to take Dauntless Onslaught just because you need the targeting effects for Heroic, but Chain to the Rocks is just so good that that's what he ends up picking up.
Yeah, I think I roll the dice there. Like, at least on an 8-4 on Magic Online, I'm rolling the dice there.
I take the Onslaught, but
no, that's what
might
I'm
be
saying.
wrong.
I'm
Yeah.
with you. I take the Onslaught as well and hope to get the Chain of the Rocks back. God's willing.
Just
solid.
Premium card after premium card for Saito. I mean, you know, Huey's deck looks good. After seeing how this draft is going, I've got to say Saito, one of the favorites so far. I could also pick the Spear Pun Oriad to get some bestow going on.
And he's going to take it. Yeah, they played very nicely together. Saito in red-white, Huey was in green-black. They did not overlap at all.
Wow, that is a big Dragon Mantle and a very late God's Willing. Just unbelievable what kind of card quality is still in the pack.
No kidding. Saito's getting hooked up savagely here. Looks like he wants the Dragon Mantle. What do you like here? You like God's Willing a lot.
I mean, I just can't see passing 2 God's Willing. Just having 1 is so powerful. On the other hand, I like Dragon Mantle a lot. I mean,
He takes the Dragon Mantle here.
It turns your little creatures into big threats, turns on Heroic, cantrips you through your deck so you see your most powerful cards.
Here's a Divine Verdict. Is there anything else worth looking at here? Death Billow Raider, probably not.
You have enough tricks to make Raider, you know, just another really solid 2-drop. But again, Divine Verdict, just a premium spell.
Yeah, I like Divine Verdict here a lot. And Saito's going to take it. Man, this deck has really come around for Saito. Whoa.
What?
Wingsteed Rider right at the front of the pack. What is that behind it?
I think that's a 2-headed Cerberus.
Okay.
I mean, Wingsteed Rider, not really easy for him to cast, but the card is just so good. We see a late Voyage is in there as well. I think you have to take Rider here and just accept that your mana is not going to be the best.
Agree.
You always play 18 lands. I mean, a late Akroan Crusader. We see the Leonin. There you can tap a creature, give him another 2-drop. You've got an Ordeal, so 1-drops are at a all-time high, but you already have 2 very good 1-drops, so I like the Snarecaster there.
Pick up your pack, you have 10 seconds.
Jeez.
All right, he's going to pick up a Minotaur Skull Cleaver. Really nice little 3-drop for his list here, but I think that Saito's problems have moved from, you know, what am I picking to what cuts am I making here?
Yeah, this is going to be a really hard build. He can prioritize mana stability over power, while another Crusader, he can prioritize, you know, power, just putting in all his best cards.
He can try to go for the ultra low curve with low land count if he wants. That's a red-white deck that we've seen have some success. Jeez, and he is just so. He even has an Ordeal of Heliod in this pack too.
That's a chosen by.
Excuse me, a chosen. Yeah, obviously a chosen by Heliod. Sorry.
If an Ordeal was still in the pack, I think you would have taken it.
Yeah, but I actually meant chosen, not Ordeal. But
I kind of like the chosen in the last pack, but it looks like that wasn't what he picked. I love the Peak Eruption here.
He's going to get a Silent Artisan and a last pick red-white card as well with the Eroa. So, whew, that